What's up guys, if you know me, my name is John and this is Casual Cubing.
Let's go!
First of all, cubing, what is it? Isn't that like a nerd thing? Actually, cubing is a hobby that helps develop your brain. Anyways, all jokes aside guys, cubes like this is exactly what it sounds like. It's just solving cubes like a 3x3 original Rubik's Cube that I have here so that all the colors are on all the sides, and it's really that simple. Sometimes we have no colors and we have different ways of dealing with that. Or a more generalized approach. Cubing is all about just solving the colors on the right sides of a cube generally, and learning the methods that we can do this for many different kinds of cubes. So why is it called casual cubing then? Because nerds aren't casuals. The biggest thing for me when deciding to call this channel Casual Cubing is I see myself as kind of a casual cuber. Right now I'm really into it, so I thought I'd share some of the information that I know about it, do some guides, and I think it's for the other people out there that may see themselves as casual cubers themselves, or people that just want to get into it that don't know a good avenue to get into it. So anyways, in short, the idea of the Casual Cuber title is to encourage people that may have never thought of themselves as cubers to kind of get into it and maybe make it a little more mainstream. So you may be thinking, where did my misery first begin? So maybe some of your parents are kind of the same way, but my dad had about 2 Rubik's Cubes. One of them was ancient, like 70s ancient, and the other one was maybe like early 90s or so. And you know, I'd always played with them. I'd never really messed with them too much, but I mean, I'd get one side right, so I was on the right track. But yeah, for you guys that don't know, getting one side is basically useless if done incorrectly. Anyways, one day I got the courage, I went and picked that thing up, and I was like, I'm gonna figure you out. So I pull up a video from my guy Dan Brown, who's also on YouTube, who had a multi-part guide on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. And if I'm being honest, his guide was really good. I'm pretty sure it taught most of the people who learned how to solve the Rubik's Cube about 8 to 10 years ago. And while there's a lot of guides out now that may be considered better, he was the real OG. Anyways, I worked at it for a while. The first video I saw, I realized it wasn't going to be as simple as applying one thing the same time over and over again or anything like that. It was going to be about learning algorithms. And yeah, so basically algorithms are just a sequence of moves that you memorize that you apply to the cube, and they have an effect on the cube that keeps the rest of what you've done intact up to that point. I made a big list of those babies and I was like, okay, I have algorithms. But yeah, so basically I had a sheet that was about 6 algorithms to solve the 3x3, and they're not as complicated or confusing as it sounds. They're just patterns that you apply to the cube. But basically I memorized those eventually, and I got my solve down to about 5 minutes. Yes. But yeah, I'd say for most people that are able to stick with it to the point where they're able to solve it, 5 minutes goes to about 2 minutes pretty quick. But from that point, you just kind of get a little bit faster and faster each time. I want to be honest with you, I got my solve down to about a minute using the beginner's method that I learned, and then I started looking into the advanced methods a little bit for the Rubik's Cube, but I really started to branch out into the other cubes, things like square one here, that are a lot different. So I guess that's going to get me into the next part of my video, which is, why am I even doing this? I mean, I talked about how good Dan Brown's video was, but the problem was it might be a little outdated. I mean, yeah, it's got to be at least like 12 years old at this point, but it's still a great set of videos either way. And although these videos were really good, I found myself a little bit frustrated sometimes with the way that Dan was explaining things, what he would show on the camera, and I don't know, it seemed to add a lot of extra time to my learning, especially throughout the years and throughout this little phase I'm going through of getting back into cubes. I realized I think I could explain this in a way that makes a lot more sense to people, because that's how I think of it, and it makes a lot more sense to me that way. So I thought I would just show people. I mean, I could show people the way that I think about it, the way I do it, and if it's more helpful, then hopefully more people will get into it. So this means everything. This means the notation, this means the proper camera angles to see exactly what's going on, identifying what position to do algorithms from, addressing any situation that may come up, just covering everything so that every cube can be fully solved and hopefully it doesn't cause you a huge kind of plan going forward is definitely going to be doing my notation guide on a 3x3, just talking about notation because that's very important, and then going over a guide for 3x3, and then I'm going to move on to other cubes that I like. I have a few here that I really like. The square one is one of them, a 4x4, which is just a bigger version of a 3x3, and a bunch of other cubes that I think you guys might enjoy if you're able to stick with it. So along with the guides that kind of teach you how to do each of these, I think it's also really valuable to do walkthroughs where I'll sit down with a cube and I'll solve it a bunch of times, and I'll just kind of walk through step by step what's going through my mind, what I'm thinking, so that maybe you can learn, or I can help me learn as well, not to waste too much time or take too long on a certain step. But yeah, pretty much just like example solves, I guess, just to help you learn a little bit better after you've gotten a beginner's method down, or sometimes there's little skips you can take, so it makes you a little bit faster and saves you some work. So like I said, I think the first video I'm going to put out is a notation guide for 3x3. I'll be doing a notation guide for any of the cubes that I'm doing that require different notation, just to kind of familiarize yourself with it before the guide for the cube comes out. So after that, I'll just do my 3x3 walkthrough guide, and I'll go from there. If there's any suggestions that anyone has, if anyone knows anything about cubing, then just leave a comment on that, and I'll do that one next. Otherwise, I'll just go on to the next thing. So obviously, like I said, this is a new thing for me. I'm just gonna give it a test run, see how it goes. If these videos can even help one person get better or just learn something new, then that'd be great. I mean, I'm just a casual cuber, so wow, really cringy. Yeah, anyways, if you could drop a like on this video, even if you didn't like it, I don't care, just like it anyways. Drop a comment if you know me, or if you want to say anything, rude or nice, either works for me. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see where this goes and what I can do with it. One more thing, most of the videos aren't going to be like this. They're going to be like, most of the videos will just be out on a desk like this, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. You don't have to stare at my face. But anyways, yeah, so I plan on uploading a notation guide probably the next few days. So keep your eyes open for that if you're interested, and keep it casual, guys. You're still here? Go on. The video's over. Come on now.